we're going to find an item in a list today. So what you should do right now is pause the video and create a variable called index and then make a list called list1. Alright, that's what you should do right now. So pause the video and go create those two things. When you come back, this is the code we're going to put together today. And I'd like to explain it to you before we get going. Alright, I've just picked 4 random items. Alright, we're going to add to the list some key, a door, a shoe, and pizza. But we're going to remember that the list has to be deleted before we can add anything to it. Alright, so we're going to delete it all. We're going to reset the index to 0 so it can start counting. And we're going to add a key, a door, a shoe, and a pizza. And then after we add them, I just created a quick broadcast. This is under events when I receive. And what it's going to do is it's going to tick through and find the item. So if you just look at what it does is it sets the index to 0 and then it repeats until the item of the index of list 1 equals shoe. Now I just typed that in so we know exactly what we're looking for. Or if the index is greater than list 1, because there could be an instance where the list doesn't contain shoe. And if it doesn't contain shoe, the index will keep counting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it will go on forever looking for shoe. So what we need to do is tell it that if it doesn't find shoe, if the index is greater than the length of the list, here's my index and my variable, and here's my length of my list. If it ends up greater than this, so if the index ends up greater than 4, it should reset the index back to 0. Okay, so it's going to repeat. It's going to change the index by 1, and I just put a weight in there so that you can actually see it happen. But this isn't necessary. I just wanted to slow it down so you could actually see how the index is searching through the list. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we're going to say if list 1 contains shoe. Okay, so after it finds it, I'm going to say if list 1 contains shoe, I'm going to have the program say the shoe was in index whatever. Okay, now the index is going to be the number. That's why I have the word here. This will be the number. And then we'll delete the index. That'll delete the shoe, and we'll reset the index. Okay, so let me show you how it works. Let me take these blocks off. I'll delete all of the list. This is not necessary, but I'm just going in order so you can see how things are building. I'll now add those. So I have my 4 things, and then when I click on this hat block, it will search. Okay, let me pull this down next to it. And as this counts, you'll actually watch these numbers light up. Okay, these numbers will light up as it searches. Okay, so let me run it. There you go, 1, and it's lighting up, 2, it's lighting up, 3, it found it. Okay, so it found that shoe is at index 3, and then following this script here, it deleted the index of the list, which was number 3. So it deleted that, that is gone. But let's run a search again, because now there is no key in this list. So what should happen is it should go 1, 2, 3, it'll hit 4, but then it will realize because of this script here that the index is greater than the length. Okay, because our new length is 3. When the index is greater than the length, okay, that will complete this loop. Then it can go underneath. The list does not contain shoes, so it shouldn't say anything. And then it will just delete nothing because nothing is there. It'll be back to 0, and then it will set the index. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, and you see it searching, and it's not finding anything, but the index is back to 0, and it didn't say anything because the list did not contain shoe anymore. Alright, so I'm going to leave this up for you, and I'd like you to try to put this together. I don't care what 4 things or 10 things you add to the list, appropriate of course, and then I'd like you to try to create this. Now how can we use this? A million things. Search engine type, making a game where maybe you have a key, but when you use a key, the key is deleted. There's a million ways to use lists and sorting. This is just a very basic example. One of the projects that we're going to do with the other grades is a state capitals game, and what's going to happen is it will delete the random capital and the random state from the list. That way it won't re-ask the question. Okay, So there's a lot of ways to use indexing, but this is just a quick example for that. So good luck. Here's your list. Now do me a favor, please. I hope you didn't just take this off from the beginning and just copy it. I hope you listen to it so you kind of understand what's going on. So once again, we get to clear a list before we build it. We have to set the index to 0 so it can start counting. We're going to add these items to the list. And then when we search for the item, the index needs to start at 0. We're going to repeat changing the index until we find the item or the index is greater than the length. Okay, and then we're going to change the index. This is not necessary. Once again, this was just to show you effect of how it will go. Okay, because otherwise, if I take this out, it finds it right away. Bang. Okay, so I just put that in to slow it down so you can see how it's working. Because without it, you really can't watch it go. It's too fast. And then this is if it contains that item, which is shoe. It should say the shoe is an index and then whatever number it was. And then we should reset the index and then it will delete 0, but there is no 0, so that won't matter. Okay, so go get them. Good luck. I hope this one works out better than last week. And then from here, we'll try to get our comparing of lists done now that you have an idea of how to use an index to find an item. Basically what you do to compare lists is just have a list over here and a list over here, maybe sport, baseball, food, pizza, subject, computer, teacher, me, and then you'd ask the question, index 3 would match with index 3. Okay, so as a challenge, see if you can try to get two lists to compare. Okay, if the two lists compare, it should be a true or false statement. If item 2 equals item 2, true, or else false. Okay, so good luck.